As Brian Kamer joining us right here at Bill Horton Field, right here on Off the Bench Radio on Talk 102.3. And Brian, how we doing this evening?
Do pretty good. Trying to stay cool right now. It's a little hot out here.
It feels like August for a spring scrimmage, doesn't it?
It most certainly does.
Well, we just like we mentioned, you are the head coach of the Lady Golden Eagles flag football team, and for people that do not know, it's going to become a sanctioned sport in the TSSAA beginning in the spring, I think, of next year. So,
yes.
Kind of talk about, I think this is y'all's first season, competing as well, and kind of fill everybody in, kind of how that first season went, and kind of just a background, kind of on what girls flag football is all about.
So I had a group of seniors approach me last year because they kind of noticed that I was looking at something on my computer at school and saw that Middle Tennessee was playing flag football. And they asked me, they're like, well, why doesn't Rhea County have flag football? We would have played definitely if we had it this year. And kind of asked myself the same question. I was like, why don't we have it? So I went to the administration at the high school and asked them what do we think about starting a team. And so we got one together. We had an interest meeting. And the interesting thing about the interest meeting was I had about 20, 25 girls show up to that meeting, and only one of them actually ended up playing flag football for us this year. The rest of them, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they just decided not to or what. So going into the season, we didn't know any of the girls, and we were able to put together a team. We never found a win this year, but we got better as the season went on, and a lot of our girls actually attested to that. They said the first game they went out there didn't really have any clue about what they were doing. We had been practicing. All of the stuff was in their mind, but they got out on the field, and it's a completely different ball game. But by the time we wrapped it up towards the end, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we actually played a pretty good game and led one of the teams that was in our league at halftime, so that was pretty big for our girls to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. We've had UTC women's basketball or beach volleyball coach come on. He talked about sports that kind of get women involved, to potentially something that starts out as like a niche sport or something you say it crops up in one part of the state, and then you start to see it spread out like it has here at Rhea County. You named 2 other schools before the show. But just talk about kind of being at the forefront of seeing something grow where you're 7-on-7, and one day, who knows, you might have girls getting scholarship, young ladies getting scholarship to go play flag football at the collegiate level.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, Middle Tennessee, they've had it, I think this was their 3rd season that they just wrapped up this spring. And as far as I know, I'm going to throw this out there, I did a little bit of digging on it. I do believe Rhea County was the first in East Tennessee to have it. So that's something that we're able to kind of hang our hat on and say we were the first ones to make it happen on the eastern side of the state. And as it's growing, it's just so exciting because when we first had that interest meeting, like I said, had 20 or 30, something like that, 25, barely and Evan played. And we were able to go to the high school's 8th grade night about a month ago, welcoming in our incoming freshmen. And we handed out 100 interest flyers to the girls coming in. So
wow,
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff for sure. So you mentioned based on the research, first program in East Tennessee for sure. And Justin and I were talking on the way up here. It's like when you see like powder puff games, like when we were in high school, that's all we saw, like when these girls were competing, and those were very entertaining matchups right there. And now you have a chance for it to be a sanctioned event, meaning a state championship can be won and brought back and added to the legacy of Rhea County athletics. Just kind of talk about that and just seeing how excited the girls are about that kind of opportunity right there.
Oh, they were so excited. We were actually able to tell them at practice on April 9th when they actually officially sanctioned it at the TSSAA legislative session, and they were ecstatic. It took us a good 5-6 minutes, something like that, to calm them down to get back to practicing because they were already ready. I mean, they're ready to go and try to compete for a state championship and bring some more hardware back to Evansville.
Yeah, and talk about kind of the opportunity this provides. It seems to me this could lead to something where you might see young ladies maybe more of an X's and O's, a coaching strategy, advancing to the collegiate level. You see a push in NBA, NHL, collegiate level to get women involved in men's sports. And I think flag football is a great opportunity for women maybe to get involved with football and the X's and O's side of things. What other opportunities does flag football provide?
Well, definitely learning the game of football itself. A couple of my girls told us, or our girls told us this year, they said that they had no interest in football before they signed up for flag football. They had 0. But they found themselves going and watching games on YouTube and even playing like Madden and NCAA and things like that. and getting really into it. They really enjoyed it, and they thought, wow, I've never really known that there was so much that went into this. So I thought it was just a bunch of guys going out, hitting their heads against each other, and at the end of the game, somebody's excited because they're on the right side of the scoreboard. Said they didn't really understand the strategy behind it and body positioning, footwork, any of that. And it's been a joy and a pleasure to teach them that this year.
You're listening to Rhea County Girls Flag football coach Brian Kamer right here on Off the Bench Radio on Talk 102.3. And, before we brought you on here, we were asking a few basic questions. And so you did say it's a 7-on-7 type situation, 7 on each side of the field. What's the process or the thinking involved, for you as a coach? Obviously you have different formations on 11-11 football, like the spread offense, wing tee, that sort of thing. Is it kind of the same thing with the 7-on-7, or is it kind of something different as far as kind of curtailing it to that game plan?
So it's kind of similar. You're not able to run the ball as much with flag football. You're not able to actually extend your arms when you're blocking, so it's a little harder to get people out of the way. And when it comes to formations, we ran pretty much a wide open spread. I had 2 wide receivers on each side, running back in the backfield behind the QB. And we would bring it a little tighter sometimes and run kind of a triple option. And we did that because one of the rules this year was if you're rushing the quarterback, you had to be 5 yards off the ball. So we were guaranteed 3 or 4 yards a pop as long as we were able to get some open space right there. And that kind of dictated that. And that's probably going away next year based on some of the rules that I've been seeing coming down the pike so far. But, yeah, it's a lot of throwing the football around, trying to get receivers and quarterbacks on the same page.
Always fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just lastly from me, I should say, we appreciate putting in the time to something like this that somebody might – it's newly sanctioned. It's fun for the girls. As a father of daughters, and I know most of us are here, it's fun to know that there's another opportunity to get involved in sport. And we always appreciate the, administrators and everybody involved. I know it's extra time to do something. And we look forward to you being the all-time and winningest
That's a good
Rhea
point.
County flag football coach this season.
All right.
I guess one more thing before we get you out of here. I guess, for those listening in the community involved in the Rhea County High School community right here, what's the pitch to come out and come out and be on the first official TSSAA girls flag football team in 2025?
Be a part of history. Definitely. That's the biggest thing for me, trying to sell it to the community, is be a part of something that has never been here before. And that's one thing I've been preaching to my girls, everything that you are doing is the first. You guys are setting the precedent for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the future. And when people are looking back in time to see where it all began, they're looking at you. So make it count.